Hello, welcome to Tony's Bonsai. I've got one of my silver birches on the turntable here. I think I need to make some major decisions with this tree, so let's take a closer look. Let's do a 360 spin and see what it looks like. It's obviously a twin trunk tree. It's got some interesting movement, but it still is kind of weird, and I think I need to make some radical decisions to try and sort it out as a bonsai, because it just doesn't look like a tree to me. It's got a nice chunky base here. I can't really recall what the roots are like, but it's got some suckers here that need removing first. I'll go in and cut these right back there. The soil has been building up round this a bit, so I think it's been quite wet, and I do want to get these right back, so I'll try and cut them back as flush as I can. There we go. The next thing I'd like to do is just look at the nabari on this tree, just to see what I'm dealing with, so I can make my decisions in terms of going forward. We've got a very nice root there that spreads out. We've got one down here as well. I've got a third one coming radially from here. So good news so far. Just in this one section here, we've got three quite nice roots. I'll rotate the tree round and see what we've got round this side. This was a collected tree, and I just can't remember at all what the roots were like. There doesn't appear to be anything here. Oh, we've got a root there. There we go. One root there. And it's kind of empty in there. I can cut this cable tie now. The plant's really nicely held in position with its own root system, so I no longer need those in place. They're just getting in the way. As I've exposed a bit of this, we've got this root here that comes right across. Which is quite interesting. I don't know if there's anything more at the back. Yeah, we've got another root. So there's quite a decent spread of roots on this. I'm just exploring and seeing what I'm dealing with, and this is a thick root coming down, coming out and then coming down. So that's a kind of 360 of the tree done in terms of the roots, and it's not bad. They're quite large roots, which you often get with a tree like this, but you know, they're quite interesting. And if I can just brush that one there just to clean it off a bit. We've got some nice root base going on there. I'm really pleased with that. Because I want to take this tree into a new direction, I needed to explore these roots, and so we've got two from this side, which they're quite thick, they're not ideal. However, when we rotate the tree round here, we've got these medium-sized roots, and this one that's visible, it's very thick, but if I could just perhaps see the top of this, that might look quite good. I can't read your mind, but what you may well be thinking is, well, the root base looks good from here, but these two trunks look awful. What I'm suggesting is perhaps if we forget about this trunk and just look at this, we've got the beginnings potentially of a nice tree. So is it worth removing this other trunk? As I studied the tree earlier, it became apparent that this section for some reason is thicker than this. Perhaps there's a bit of wire damage in there and it's swollen up, but it's definitely thicker than this. It just looks very top heavy and clunky. Doesn't look good. So I fairly quickly came to the decision that this had to go. What I then started thinking was, what kind of tree do I really have now? It's obviously a twin trunk, but it's kind of weird. It is a kind of weird tree. This is a very big cut. We've got another cut above it now. And then we've got this second trunk, which, as I said earlier, I think it's really interesting. And this on its own, with this nice chunky base, it's just, it speaks to me in a way that this trunk here just doesn't. I mean, I could remove this one and just leave this as the tree, but I don't really like the way it goes out and up. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know I'm not against making big decisions on trees. I'm quite happy to go for it if I think it's necessary. And I believe this is a case where it definitely is. And so I'm going for it. Almost through now. I've just taken my time with this saw cut, just doing a nice, neat, clean cut. No rush. Here we go. Got a bit of sawdust in there. I'll just clear that out. And in terms of this cut, that's a lovely clean edge. So all I'll do with that later is just apply some cut paste to it. That's gone. Now let's take a look at what I'm left with. There. This is the root base that I was talking about. So we're looking directly at the best root base. And I think the tree looks pretty good. I don't normally show the application of cut paste, but I will on this occasion, seeing as it's such a big area. And the key is covering this edge where the bark is. That's the key. The bit in the middle doesn't really matter too much. It's just about getting all that edge nicely protected to seal any moisture in. And my experience with birch is they heal over really well. They're one of the quickest healers, if not the quickest healer. Maybe behind larch, just for the look of it. I'll just sweep that dust off like that. And then this soil can be replaced. I'll put that back in around the roots. I don't want these roots to dry out, you see. I'm definitely not doing any kind of repotting now. I'm really quite lucky with this tree. It's already got a really nice shape to it, so it doesn't require any wiring or pruning at the moment, and it needs a good 12 months of growth just to put some thickness on, some extra branches, do what it needs to do. All I will do is, if there's any suckers come out, I will remove those, but apart from that, that just sits in the garden now, and I'll look at this in 12 months' time. As always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.